Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, before I do, because we are consistent in this house regards to anything to do with PD, Diddy whatsoever. Because it's all over the media. I don't even follow this shit and it seems to somehow find me. But I'm a consistent woman. And regardless of whatever ridiculous media spin that this is going to take to push that agenda, this agenda, or bring in so much millions of dollars, I don't care. I care about one thing in regards to shit like this. What is your evidence? Okay? Period, regardless of whatever situation it is. That is my position. I'm not saying jack shit. And we do curse on this channel, folks, just to let you know. Until the facts of the case actually come out. I'm not someone who enjoys speculating on things, particularly in areas of the music world that I don't know a whole hell of a lot about. I don't. Really don't. I wait for facts. This is something that the modern world can't seem to wrap its brain around, but here we are, folks. I'm autistic and I'm damn stubborn. I will not be voicing any opinion of any kind in regards to any case, point blank, period, no matter what it's about, until I have had the chance to eyeball the evidence. I will not engage in any type of sensationalization just for the sake of it. This is an entertainment for me. Okay? There is a sickness in our society. That sickness tends to be, well, cult of personality, for lack of a better way of putting it. Married together with Schadenfreude. Everybody loves a celebrity, but what they love even better is when a celebrity falls. It's toxic. People forget that these aren't just two-dimensional personalities. These are real human beings with their own children and families. Okay? And the current culture, the way it is, isn't really all that different from the lynch mob of old. The only thing different is instead of pitchforks and torches, it's phone and otherwise camera lenses being thrust in the face of the individual who is now being lambasted. Okay? It's sick. These are human beings. Okay? Their lives shouldn't be your entertainment. And if they are, I would highly suggest you start doing some soul searching. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox for a moment, folks, and let's go ahead and get to the disclaimers. In the description box, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, You're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. In particular, please take note to the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interview over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, folks. You know the drill. Read the article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you do got young children present, please make sure to utilize the headphones. Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We very obviously use profanity and we speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised, alright? Alright, good. Now remember yesterday, because this part is so long and I was dead tired, that we were going to go ahead and split it up. So usually I do 2 videos, one's back to back, but since haven't slept decently in the last 3 days, I slept in so late, and we got to do a live probably not too long after this video. We're just doing one, all right? Okay, so where we left off. Here we are. Additionally, of 53 complaints filed from 1993 to 2013 regarding ESD with the Massachusetts Disabled Persons Protection Committee, DPPC, the FDA reviewed negative emotional reactions and PTSD were reported as AEs. Now remember, folks, they don't just have those documents in regards to those complaints. See, this is the difference, folks. Pay attention. Those reports were backed up by the live video surveillance footage taken by the JRC itself inside its own school. All those negative reactions, the screaming and the fear, are very, very, very easy to see. Okay. You could be the biggest skeptic on planet Earth, but when you actually view that footage and you read those documents and you listen to what the survivors have had to say, you see their medical documents backing them up, the video surveillance footage. If there ever should have been a close and shut case on the history of planet Earth, this one should have been it. All right? This one should have really, really been it. But here we are. Right? Yeah. From 2010 to 2013, FDA officials were contacted by and met with representatives from various national disability organizations. In other words, this is a direct response in regards to how the JRC has continuously lambasted us advocates as people who very obviously aren't professionals. They're just reacting to what they see on the videos. They don't understand, and their autism, if they even really have it at all, they love rubbing that bullshit in. It's a crock, in case you want to know. It's all the self-advocates, right? Right? Multiple disability organizations. Not just specifically self advocate groups, but also groups that are intermarried with self advocates, professionals that work in the field, and their parents, folks. Groups that have brought all three different groups of people to the table. I helped form one of those groups out here circa 2012 through 2014 when I went through my shit and had to dip out for a while due to, well, you all know my story of what happened circa 2014, so I won't be getting into that. But it makes it pretty simple here. This is not the JRC pointing the fingers, but those just self-advocates, they just keep coming from us, and the ones that are really autistic are too brain damaged to understand what's good for them. And anyways, they're just not as severe as the kids we handle here. None of them know what it's like. Dot 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 dot. Send help. I'm tired of hearing the crap. I've been listening to this crap for almost 20 years. It is the same shit verbatim that they have been toting for decades, and every single time it is extremely easy to rip to shreds. Because we're not just talking about disability organizations filled with advocates, parent, professional, self advocate, or otherwise. The other disability organizations that we are talking about, folks, are service providers like ARC, like Easter Seals, like Burl, like Nova. These are hardly extreme organizations. They are middle of the line, don't buck anybody's heads one way or the other as you can get. Okay? And yet they stood for with us. This is what the FDA is talking about here. It's never been just us. There's also been the insinuation of paydays. I'll say it again. Are y'all getting paid for this shit? Because if I'm supposed to be getting paid, I'm going to need all that back pay for almost 2 decades of work, all right? Especially with the way everything's going lately. Just direct deposit that shit. I'm buying an island and I'm fucking out of here. But anyways, let's continue and we'll finish up this video, alright? Gotta prepare for a live. You all know how that goes. These organizations reported at least 4 case reports of psychological trauma and PTSD symptoms. So some of these are watchdog organizations, those that have been developed by us, the self advocates, and those that have been developed by the professionals as well that have been keeping a close eye on this thing for longer than I've been alive. Yes, this situation, what we are fighting, is older than I am. Wrap your brain around the levels of sheer unadulterated evil that the JRC's got up to. And wrap your brain around that they have gotten away with this for decade after decade after decade, literally since 1976. Horrifying, isn't it? If that doesn't like cause your stomach to drop, I wonder if you're human. Let's continue on, shall we? Stressed alternative treatments such as positive environmental and reinforcement strategies have been developed and are generally successful for severe and refractory self injury. A lot of the individuals that they're speaking about here are individuals who came out of the JRC. That JRC has said on multiple occasions that this shock treatment, this performing for food, this sleep deprivation, and having random staff jump out of kids out of nowhere, this actually made the symptoms that put them in the JRC in the first place worse. And what actually worked is when they finally got those kids out of there and the parents finally had access to individuals who could really help them. They finally get that full functional assessment done. They finally are able to build a program off of that base that actually has success. Not instant success. That's not how any of this actually really works. But it is a long lasting success. Okay? We're going to close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time, folks. As always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I will see you on stream here in a few minutes. Bye bye, everyone. Oh, and since I front load these videos, this does not mean specifically this night when you're watching this video. If you note, this is March the 26th. So you'll see a live that has been saved that was March 26th if you want to watch that. Yeah. All right. Bye bye, everyone.